This video is for one Mr. Thomas Rechtenwald. If you remember in mini meet number 36, he had this 30-some odd year old dirt devil. Soft bag, all red, it's great, but it had a brush roll that, somebody tell me if you think this bristle length is about right. To me, I don't know if they're supposed to be longer than this or not. Maybe this is about the right length. Maybe this is half the length it should be. But it had a bigger problem than bristle length. And by the way, he said that he searched all over the place, and so did I, in order to try to find a replacement for this. And there's a lot of brush rolls that look very similar to this. But you know what the big problem is they aren't this. So when I looked everything up, I even went to partswarehouse.com, I was unable to find a replacement that I'd be satisfied, like buying for him, and he was unable to find one as well. So we're going to make this one work. And even if the bristles are approximately where they need to be, guess what was totally shot? I mean, really shot. I mean, super duper shot. I mean, like rusted so badly you couldn't believe it. Now, I fiddled with this a little bit last week. Put some WD-40 in that cap. Hey, come back here. Oh, lost one. Oh well, doesn't make any difference. It's for an old one anyway, just an end cap. And I got a couple of super ultra rusty bearings. I'll give you a close-up of that, and I'll explain them here in a minute. So you have one here that just has the cover's removed, and that the ball bearing keeper here, this little plastic race job here, right there. Yep. So two of them. And this one is the one that I worked on for a couple hours, and I soaked it, and I was able to break stuff loose. Now you notice there's no little ball bearings there because I just tossed them out. They were so out of round and so rusted, even though I got the outer race here to move a little bit, and I got the ball bearings to go around, to do their stuff. Yeah, there's no way I was going to actually save this, and you can see just exactly how bad this is. Yeah, so then I went on a search. You can see here's a super close-up of the one that actually is still stuck. So even with all that, yeah, it moves back and forth maybe 1/16 of an inch, something like that. But this is non-serviceable. It's gone. I mean, they're 30 years old. So you figure, how hard can it be to find new bearings? Well, eagle-eyed people have seen that I have a little 4-pack here, and finding these little dudes was a little bit of a pain. I had to use my calipers to try to identify these things, because what was left here, so you can compare, what was left on the caps to try to ID them was, just completely gone. We're talking unbelievably gone. Here's 3 out of 4 of the end caps right there. Yeah, you can't make anything out on that. It looks like you might be able to. I have a magnifying glass. Nope. Completely gone. So I was able to ID them as 1602 ZZs. See, I wonder, can I get that close enough? These are really tough to get in here. All right, so hopefully that's, I'll get it ridiculously close, and I'll move it a little further away. 1602 ZZs. But guess what? There's a 1602, and then there's another 1602 with a slightly different measurement. So as I was about ready to go and buy these, I was like, wait a minute, let me double, triple check with my calipers, and guess what? There are 1602s, and they have 2 different measurements on one of the 3 measurements. So I had to make sure that I got the one that had the measurement in the front and the measurement in the rear. That is, like A, B, C. That A and C were the same measurement, and I did, and they're the right ones. So it's great. These are a little more expensive than normal, And I normally like to get the little the rubber ones, but the problem is the rubber ones weren't the right measurement, so I was unable to get, you know, exact replacement. But it doesn't matter. You can put stuff with metal end caps and swap it out for ones that have rubber caps. You're good. I do that all the time. No big deal. What was kind of weird was the actual plastic end caps here on the Brushroll. They had the bearings seized in them, glued into them. I'm not literally glued. I shouldn't use that. Over time, they had gotten stuck, very badly stuck. And I had to use something to actually pound them out. I mean, after I put some WD-40 on there, they were terrible in every way, shape, or form. So anyway, moving ahead, we have a Brushroll now that can be made fully functional again, despite maybe worn bristles, maybe not so much. And as you can see, I got one axle here, or pin. Everything was so bad with, this one, with this guy right here. Everything was so terrible with this particular bearing that I had to use my bearing puller in order to separate it. I couldn't separate it any other way. I mean, this thing is just rusted on here. And there's still, as you can see there, that you got some rust. So we're gonna remove a little bit of that. And the other end, it's got rust. I'm gonna leave that little axle in there. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit though. And as you can see, a good fresh bearing that isn't rusty, it's not growing anything, fits right onto the end. Look at that, and that's fine. And of course, these fit perfectly inside here. I'm not going to press it in just yet because I want to do a little more cleaning in there. These are still in somewhat of a raw state. I'm not ready to go to do everything just yet. The caps are a little on the dirty side. I'm going to take a toothbrush and some Dawn dishwashing liquid, clean that up. You can see one end slides right in there, and the other end, that's about as far as it goes without pushing real hard. Now that'll go in there, okay, if I take a little socket and smack the inner race, that'll go in there just fine. But there's still, I think, a little buildup of rust. So let's go ahead and clean this axle off just a little bit. Then of course, I've got my grease I use for everything, and I'll show both cameras. I'm going to put that all over. I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to put it on these, and I'm going to put it on this, right, just here, just this top part, so it never gets rusty again. Let's see, do I have enough cord? Yeah, hopefully I have enough cord. So I'm going to take this, and hopefully it'll fit in this chuck. Yep, good shape there. And got a little bit of sandpaper, either 4 or 800 grit. This is 800 grit because I want to take just a little bit of the rust off. Okay, I'm not interested in removing spline per se. Here we go. There, see the rust coming off? Yeah, it's okay. Well, let's keep going. That is looking a lot better. So let's see, how does that fit on now? Oh, nice. Okay. So it'll take just some gentle taps and a little bit of grease, and that'll probably just pop right on there. Because let's face it, these should be able to come off fairly easily. And if they can't, well, something is too tight or has too much rust. All right, let's see, what else can I get? Oh, I can get this little edge here. Why not? Rusty, rusty. Oh yeah. Okay. Like I said, we're not going for perfection. Just want to make it a little bit nicer, that's all. Okay. And if you wanted that process to go faster, instead of using 800, use 400. So let's see how we doing. Okay. A little grease and a little tappy tap tap. That ought to fit on just fine. Not too much effort, because I tell you, when you use a bearing puller to get something off, it can be an awful lot of effort. Let's see. Well, how about I can do this. I can get the other end. Haha. A drill brush roll. And I need to get some more sandpaper. All right, let's make a little room here, I suppose. There's some more 800 grit. Okay, this is going to be a little awkward. See if I can show you what's going on. Use this as a little brace. All right. Okay, here we go. Well, let me stay on there. Then around there. All right, let me do this now. Oh yeah, better. There we go. That's it. Oh yeah, much better. Right, almost done. Oh yeah, that did it. That's all we need. So, yeah, look at that. Hey, I see a little lack of rust. Some still left, obviously. So, much better. Much, much better. So, I think it's time for me to clean that up. And I'll grease these. I will grease that. Yeah. And we'll make all this happen here. I'm going to pound one of these onto that guy. A little bit more. Seat it all the way down. Oh yeah, that's doing well. That is doing very well. Yep, we're seated. We're as seated as we need to be. This is about the longest bearing installation video you've ever experienced. Okie dokie. So now, one seated bearing. Yep, very gently seated, because that's all it needed. Let's go ahead and, you know what? I gotta clean up the edges of the brush roll. I'm looking at them going, yeah. So now, that is relatively clean, a lot better than what it was, and so is that. Good clean end caps, let's grease away and get this thing together, and then I guess we got to pick the hair off. So, put a little grease right here. Don't need a whole lot, but some. And then let's grease the inside of the caps. So stuff will never get stuck in there again, even if it gets wet. That's really what the key is there. And then I'll just take the remaining grease, coat the outside of the bearing completely. That one's already been coated. So fantastic. Let's see. Here's one on that end, and then we have a cap. Oh yeah, fits right in. Spins just like butter, as Thomas would like to say. Whoop! In fact, it spins so much like butter, it just falls right off. Good, that's what we want. You don't want it to stick on there. Now, I don't know if I have enough strength, let me see, to push that all the way in. No, I'm going to need to do a little tappy tap tap, and then I will be right back. You can hear it, but you can't see it. That's it. Yeah, okay, got it. Got it, got it, got it. And we're almost done. So we'll take this end cap, put it on there, slides right on, smooth as butter. The other end that's so smooth, it falls right off, and there you go. So, yep. So now, instead of something that was completely rusted and seized, it's better than brand new, except for the bristle length. The rest of this wooden brush roll is really okay. I mean, there's no gouges out of it or anything like that. Appears to be really just fine. So let's just kind of get the rest of this junk off of here, and then we're going to call it quits. So Thomas, hope you enjoyed this video. It was something I was planning to make anyway. I've done a lot of bearing refurb videos, to be sure. Certainly not on this brush roll, but on other brush rolls. And this certainly was fun. It's too bad I couldn't get the original bearings going again, but they were just so awful. Here's some of the old parts you can look at. Oh, let's see, I'll put that over there and put that in there. There we go. Yeah, there's one part that fell down. Oh well, that part's gone. I think it fell through the deck. I think it was the remnants of the fourth rubber end cap, and it was, I mean, oh, it was in such bad shape. Such unbelievably bad shape. So, unfortunately, with his, I think it's 1994 Dirt Devil, the motor bearings need some help as well. But he said he wanted this brush roll fixed up. So that's what we've completed here now. There. So I have found, just general, that was a long string, just generally speaking, I have found that probably 9 out of 10 brush rolls that I see that just look terrible, with a little bit of elbow grease and, well, unfortunately maybe a part or two, you can get them going again. So if it's something that's rare and you can't find the part, you can duplicate what I'm doing here. And I've been doing it for years and years, especially if you have been around watching my channel since 2017. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. And you see that I do the impossible repairs, the repairs that nobody else wants to do. I do the repairs that even people that own vacuum stores, repair shops, and whatnot say it's not possible, or I'm not going to, do a repair like this. I do the repairs that people say are impossible or they just don't want to bother with. Take your pick. So as long as these bristles aren't too short, this brush roll has a lot of life left in it. And it's got brand new bearings that can handle everything you throw at it. Even if, and you should never do this, you vacuum up something a little damp. These are dry vacuums, right? They're meant to vacuum up only dry things. Emphasis on dry, not something that's damp or wet. It's not what they're made for. You use other machines for that. But people go and vacuum up wet stuff anyway, and it's really too bad. So we're almost done here. I'm just using a toothpick to get out any really stuck in bristle debris. And we will be finished. All right, I think we're done here. So thanks for watching this episode of New Bearings on a Dirt Devil Brush Roll. And make sure to hit that subscribe button. And stay tuned for more. That's it. All done.